Hi, this is Brodie, General Manager at Key Cooperative, and this is your Key News in 2 for October. Got a good start going on harvest. Weather definitely shifted from summer to fall pretty quickly. We're seeing yields, not anywhere close to last year, but definitely better than expected coming in across the territory. I would say moistures on corn has been running in the low 20s and seeing some upper teens. Now with the weather cooling, I don't know if that's going to continue, if we're going to kind of be at that range for a while as guys get to that. And beans starting to come in across most of the area. We do have a few pockets where they're not quite ready and still a little wet. And in the areas where it's coming in, definitely there too in the low teens and even some single digits. So locations are in good shape. We're really ready for harvest across the company. Got cleaned out well ahead and should be in good shape to hold all of our members' grain coming in, and definitely doing all we can to help you get that harvest out of the field. As far as markets, just talking to the grain team this morning, it just seems like we can't catch a break in that area. We've got so many wild dynamic forces affecting those and have had. Just wild swings in the market and in basis. And, recently we just averted that rail strike, and now we've got literally barges bottoming out in our river system on the Mississippi, and they're struggling to get through some areas. And so that market's going to really wreak some havoc, I think, over time and have a tail to it. Also disrupting our ability to load some vessels. To go overseas, and that really also affects the reality of some of the exports that we've got on the books as we look at what our carryout picture is going to be. And that also has had so many effects from just the economy in general and the labor force and transportation and labor issues to the inflation and the Fed, adjusting interest rates and trying to adjust for that. And whether that's going to play out or not, it's certainly having an effect on the overall economy and the markets, not just domestically, but globally. And so just very destabilized. And I think, I don't know if it's black swans or maybe it's really albatrosses. We don't know the ultimate effect of some of these changes that are happening, but just very destabilized. And so I think the biggest thing is, how do we lay off risk? And I know a lot of you have some good cash grain sales on and need to continue taking opportunities to do that as you can, and working with the grain origination team so you're staying open with some positions with hedging and option strategies. It's just never been more important, I don't think, to lay off some of the risk from all the different things going on in the marketplace. We see similar things happening in energy, agronomy, and certainly need to lock up inputs on the feed side as well. But in the fertilizer side, I know a lot of you have got a lot of that locked down, and hopefully getting some grain sales on for some synthetic hedges to cover the cost of those inputs, locking up some inputs and outputs. And then just security of supply and timing to get it out and get it done. So I know we've got more locked up and contracted for this fall than we put out last fall, which was a record fall. And so there's a lot to move across the network and come out of the terminals and get delivered to the field. And I do know our guys in the last several years have done a really nice job of making sure that product does get out there, and haven't had to allocate product movement in the past, and certainly hope not to have to do that this year. I know we have really good storage across our system, and hopefully are in really good shape to keep things going once we get that going in the field. Beyond that, on the energy side, no different. We've got crazy things happening across the globe. Europe certainly has gas issues, and the recent pipeline events, that instability over there, or instability, comes back to here with stuff being shipped over there with the values, and that really undercuts our supply. And so be sure to be working with your energy team, not just on LP for drying and home heating through the winter, but also on the fuel side, and getting some of that locked up as you can, and laying off some risks. So I think across the board, in these wild, extreme, extraordinary times and events that are happening, I think we just need to lay off the risk that we can, control what we can control. There's so much that's not in our control. And just keep in close contact with the sales group on the grain side, the originators, the agronomy, tech salesmen, our CESs, and our feed specialists. And certainly just looking to help get through the harvest season and the fall work. And so operationally, things are going smooth, and just looking forward to doing what we can for our members. That's your key news in 2 for October. Thank you.